Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back. It is time for another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 AlphaStar replay cast. We have got ourselves what should be an exciting match. Maybe a little bit cheesy, as we have got two Protoss players, a Masters player, and an AlphaStar player. Going up against each other, so should be fun, should be exciting to watch, as is every AlphaStar match. Yeah, it is good to be checking out these AlphaStar games as per usual. Looks like we're going to be having mirror builds to start things off, so no crazy cheese, no cannons, which always makes me a little sad, because when there's two Protoss in a game, the odds of cannons generally goes up. But no cannons, not just yet. Alright. Double gas from AlphaStar, so the AI is going to be going for the 2-gateway expand, or the 2-gateway opening most likely, right? Yeah, scouting out, then going to be building this extra gateway. AlphaStar is checking for cannons and things like that. It is funny to see how the AI has kind of learned to scout through a very painful experience, or multiple painful experiences, I imagine. And the Masters player going to be sending out his probe scout, and then just going to be getting up his cyber core. Everything is normal here. Yeah, it is pretty interesting to note how AlphaStar has gone for the 2-gateway opening, whereas in the past it would always go for, in the earlier iterations or the mid-tier iteration of AlphaStar, it would always go for the 1-gateway expand. And then it would basically just rely on winning the game by holding the cheese that came its way. So I think it is interesting how the better AlphaStar got, the more important I realized that this 2-gateway opening is. We'll have to watch more PvPs to get a sense of how it plays out the matchup, but it is good to see. We see AlphaStar going to go for the Stargate, the 2 Adepts into Stargate. If you're the Masters player, you can infer being like, oh, you can't afford a Stargate this quick unless you're making 2 Adepts, or yeah, really just 2 Adepts, so the Masters player should know that 2 Adepts are on the way by rights. He's going to throw up a pylon too, just to be a pain, and he's got a proxy pylon out on the map as well. What this is going to be used for, I am not sure, as there's no probe out. This guy might circle down to use that pylon. No, maybe this is just one of those mind game pylons from the Masters player, which he's like, you'll never guess where I put my extra pylon and all the nasty cheese I'm doing. In reality, he's not cheesing at all. The Masters player did actually let that pylon finish. We'll see if this is going to be enough to throw AlphaStar off or not. For now, though, he hasn't actually invested in a tech, which is pretty interesting. No tech whatsoever. He does biff getting... he does mess up getting that pylon down, so the Adepts are going to get into his base. They kill off a sentry, which is rather painful. He was going to rely on that to scout. And he actually loses 4 probes. The Adepts get out scot-free. Ouch, that was a bad start. That was a bad start for the Masters player. Just like that, he gets his butt kicked. We see a Nexus is on the way for the Masters player, so he wants to go for an expansion. I mean, I do respect the desire to expand. However, he's going to have to defend these Adepts a little bit better. 1 Adept actually shades on in. That was like the perfect block there. However, he does still lose a probe to it. There's 3 Adepts outside his base. He probably wants to cancel that. I feel like he's got enough Stalkers that he can clean these Adepts up at an efficient rate, but he is down to 21 workers. AlphaStar, while just 1 basing it, has got 30 probes compared to its opponent's count, and there's still no tech for the Masters player, which I find very odd. Now he throws up a robo. The Adepts are going to shade into the main base, but there we see one of them dies right away because it was already injured. There's 2 dead. There is enough Stalkers to clean this up. I'm not sure if this one was worth it for AlphaStar. I'll say that it probably was, based on the fact that the Masters player's economy was already very hurt. If the Masters player was at a more normal amount of probes for this time of the game, I'd say that was absolutely not worth it. But it's like compounding interest, right? It gets more and more. So that was really good for the Masters, or for AlphaStar, I feel. The Masters player are going to have to deal with these Oracles. Robos are on the way for both players. The Masters player has got the quicker Nexus up already. He's going to have to be building probes like a madman if he's going to catch up to AlphaStar. And we do actually see that AlphaStar's Nexus attempt was delayed by the pylon. that the Masters player threw down, so that was good for him. And while the Masters player's behind, he does have a significant lead due to the delay in the Nexus, or a significant Nexus timing lead. I'm not going to say a lead because he's so far down on probes, but he's starting to catch back up on that. He's doing a good job at this point from defending the oracles that AlphaStar has. And yeah, Stalker's going to try and deal with these oracles. He did pull his Stalkers away. It looks like he does get one of the oracles for a few probes. However, that was quite a few more probes going down, and that was rather painful for the Masters player. AlphaStar is going to move out on the map with its Stalkers, start putting some pressure on, perhaps. Yeah, the Masters player is down 13 workers currently. He's now going to run into AlphaStar's Stalkers with his own. He does have a numerical lead, so he will be able to push AlphaStar away. Does get one of AlphaStar's Stalkers. He's still got to zone out this Oracle, and he actually kills off the extra Oracle, so that's really darn good. He's going to force a recall, which is rather painful for AlphaStar, just taking damage on one of his Stalkers. And is the Masters player just going to go for like an all-in? He's got a Prism. Is he just saying, right, I think I have more Stalkers than you. I'm going to attack on in, but he definitely can't make an attack like this work, I feel. I see the temptation to go for it, but AlphaStar's got an Immortal. The AI is building its second and third shield battery, so there's not a chance that the Masters player can break this. He can micro with the Prism all day, but look at this Immortal. It is not gonna die to this. And oh my gosh, is the Masters player just gonna lose everything? His Prism almost dies, and so does his will to live in this game. GG gets called. AlphaStar, great opening. The Masters player kind of felt forced, I guess, to go for an attack, which is understandable, as AlphaStar did have quite the lead at this point in the game. But yeah, GG gets called. Well done by the AI, as per usual. Just having that not killer's instinct. What would be the opposite of a killer's instinct? Like, is there a term for someone who's really good at not getting killed? I don't know, like a survivalist or something? He's got that survivalist instinct with throwing up those shield batteries always at the right time. GG gets called. Well done by AlphaStar. We'll see if humanity can tie it up in the next one. All right, now this is what we've been waiting for as we get on into the second match. We've seen the best AlphaStar, but we haven't seen some of the best players yet. And now this game, we have actually got ourselves a Grandmaster player. Going to be taking on the best iteration of AlphaStar in a ZVZ, a Zerg versus Zerg, a true test of skill. And yeah, so this should be an exciting one. ZVZ, always a madhouse. And so it's going to be great to see AlphaStar taking on one of the top 200 European players, at least. That's where these games were played. Every single AlphaStar game was played on the European ladder. And so if you guys play on the European ladder, maybe you're in one of these games, you probably have played some of the players who've played against AlphaStar, to say the very least. And so it's kind of cool, that in a sense. That AlphaStar kind of just swung on by the neighborhood. Honestly, AlphaStar swung by the neighborhood and did a bit of a drive-by as it massacred the ladder, and then just went on its merry way. And so, yeah, well done indeed by AlphaStar. We'll see if it's gonna collect this Grandmaster player's head though or not, as I think a GM will put up more of a fuss than the average bear, particularly a European GM. That server's pretty packed with great players. What level this Grandmaster is, that's up to debate, and we'll maybe be able to infer his skill level as the game goes on. I mean, there is a very big distinction between, say, top 200 to then top 50 GM, and then top 50 GM to top 16, and then top 16 obviously to pro players. So yeah, definitely discrepancies, and we'll see how well this Grandmaster is going to play. For now, though, the openings are very, very normal. And yeah, just mirrored openings, which is exciting to see, as the game's going to have to differentiate a little bit. AlphaStar does skip the lings, which I find pretty cool. I'm not sure what drives AlphaStar to make this call or not, as it skips the lings before it sees its opponent's base. So for all AlphaStar knows, I guess it's a bit of a risk that it could have been getting completely cheesed, like a 16 pool or something like that, and then the AI would have skipped its first round of lings, which would have been critical to defending that. And so maybe if you guys were to play against this Zerg agent of AlphaStar, that could be a timing you'd try and hit. Something like that. I mean, I'm sure it's still going to be hard to cheese out the AI, but that does seem to be something notable, and that I've noticed it before, that AlphaStar does skip its lings earlier on, and that's actually partially because this game, the AI, is going to be doing some cheesing, as these lings are going to be, hopefully, scouting it for the Grandmaster player, but for now, I'm not too sure. The lings are going to run into the main base, and this is absolutely huge for the Grandmaster player. Getting in, he's going to see the Roach Warren, and he is going to say, uh-oh, this could be a 5-alarm fire. The ling's going to try and grab a drone. Looks like they do get one drone, which is a good bit of damage, but the GM player has got to be like, what do I do? What do I do? Danger, as he's going to fire up lings to try and hold on against this. Just make a ton of lings. He's still got his third base building, which is very ambitious, I feel. Is he going to build spine crawlers to try and hold on here? I'm not too sure. I am not too sure. Looks like AlphaStar is going to get up an Evo and make a drone behind this, so I'm not sure how much it's actually committing to this rush, but the GM player is definitely going to be scared right now. And as we take a look, AlphaStar is just going to fire up +1, a bunch more drones. It's just playing kind of like a defensive, scary Roach style. Like, this is very, very scary for the Grandmaster player. However, I mean, looks like AlphaStar is just going to macro behind it, probably going to take a bit of a drone lead, I imagine. AlphaStar now being a pain, going to try and grab one of these overlords. The lings could potentially grab this queen and save it, which would be quite nice. There's a few roaches, just a handful, moving across the map. As the Grandmaster player, he's going to move on in and try and grab AlphaStar's third base, which he should be able to do. It's going to... Actually, he'll be able to keep his Overlord alive too, which is quite nice. And so there's a chance he may even get some damage done. As AlphaStar's roaches were out on the map, the ling's going to come on in. They're going to surround the queens. Drones are being pulled to help out, so the ling numbers will be thinned out a little bit quicker. Good drone micro by AlphaStar. There's that inhuman micro, pulling back the injured drones, as it only lost one there. Looks like it may lose one more. Yes, it does for all those lings, though. I'm not sure if that was worth it for the Grandmaster player. AlphaStar retains a supply lead. Retains a worker lead. Doesn't have the third base up, so it's not going to have the great larva production, but these roaches are definitely going to be a threat for the Grandmaster player, as he doesn't really have an answer for them yet. He hasn't built his own roaches. He's going to have to at some point. There we see it now. He fired up Carapace, so his lings will still get value from that upgrade, and now he's making his own roaches, and the game's going to continue on. Looks like the lings ran on in once again for the GM player. Going to grab the queen, grab a few drones, just a couple, for all those lings. So 34 lings have died this game for 8 drones and 2 queens. The fact that there's no third base up for AlphaStar yet is why I'm going to say that I think that it's probably been worth it for the GM player. Whether the GM player is ahead, though, that's an entirely different question. We'll take a look at the roach count. Looks like it is 4 to 17, so I am actually rather worried for the Grandmaster player, as he's going to need as many units as he can to hold on the attack that's coming his way. He sees this is coming his way too, so he's making a ton of lings. I'm not sure if lings are what he needs, though. He's got the 4 Ravagers to deal some damage with their Corrosive Bile. The lings are going to try and get a wraparound, but this is still a lot of Roach for AlphaStar. Corrosive Bile going to go down. AlphaStar doesn't actually split that well. One Roach takes a lot of Corrosive Bile to the face. Looks like the players will disengage here, as the GM player with his speedy lings is maybe hoping to get a wraparound. Looks like he'll catch a Morphing Ravager on the retreat. The roaches are going to go all the way home for AlphaStar. But the GM player is actually just going to say, I want to catch these units. I want to kill them. I want to punish you. The lings are mainly all killed off as they try and tie up these roaches. However, the Ravagers, having slightly quicker speed, are going to grab some of the roaches. The lings are making these roaches pause for a second. So it's basically lings for roach trades at this point. AlphaStar does turn around, though, nab off a Ravager like it's nothing. Well done by AlphaStar. The supplies remain similar in the drone count. AlphaStar retains a roach count lead, and as we take a look right now, AlphaStar is still only 2 basing. It's just producing roaches off of 2 bases, so the GM player really needs to focus on defense right now. He needs to be 100% focused on defense, because AlphaStar is coming across the map 28 roaches to 4. When the numbers are lower, maybe you can overcome the difference if you're the Grandmaster player, but this is such a numbers game right now, and we'll see if the Grandmaster player can hold on, but he needs to be doing nothing but making units right now. He's going to toss down Corrosive Bile on the ramp, try and zone out AlphaStar. There is a counterattack with these lings. I mean, they've got the Carapace, but They aren't actually getting too much done because AlphaStar had a few roaches at home. It is making AlphaStar completely turn around, though, and time is on the Grandmaster's side, as he does have more bases, but man, he needs to be making more and more units. He's continuously playing this Roach Ling style, which I'm not too sure, or this Ravager Ling style, I'm not too sure I'm a huge fan of it when it comes to just Roach versus Roach. He's going to have to get big corrosive biles going down. Supply is in the lead of AlphaStar. The Grandmaster player has got the defender's advantage. He's going to try and tie up these Roaches. Corrosive biles going down on both sides. The Lings are getting a pretty good angle, as AlphaStar's army is pretty split up. Corrosive biles going down, but I'm not sure if there's going to be enough for the Grandmaster player to hold on. This is the problem. His Ravagers are undefended. There isn't a Roach buffer right now, so AlphaStar is getting on top of those very expensive high-value units, and I think AlphaStar is going to have done it. AlphaStar taking down the Grandmaster player in his EVZ. The GM player just playing this Ling style seemed very odd. I mean, I see where it had its merit earlier on in the game, but at this point, AlphaStar was just able to grab a victory, and I think that was in part by the fact that the Grandmaster didn't make Roaches and just chose to make Lings there. I think he could have held on had he switched to Roaches, and since AlphaStar had no third base on the way, holding on was all he needed to do. That was his condition, and I think Lings definitely were not his choice, were not what he should have made. Absolutely not. As, particularly seeing as how he also had +1 on the way, ranged attack, which would have benefited his Roaches and his Ravagers, not his Lings. So, yeah, it is a shame. I think that GM player definitely could have won that game had he changed up his defense a little bit. And so, well played by AlphaStar there. I mean, the GM player hadn't even invested in Glial Reconstitution, so he did actually plan on going just Lings and Ravagers. His Ravagers don't get the Roach speed. So, yeah, really well done by AlphaStar, as per usual. Just committing where not a lot of Zergs would have committed, I don't think. Just going 2-base Roach attack, trying to brute force your way in. And so, yeah, well done by the AI. Ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you do watch these AlphaStar videos to the end and you aren't subscribed, you make me cry a little bit. But jokes aside, consider joining the Discord if you do want to hang out. Become a YouTube member if you do want to get various perks and support the channel. My name is LaughNgamez. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching.